Hey Freshies, my name is Jeremiah and I'm a third year biomedical science student at good old SP. In this video segment, I'll be talking about some of the experiences and benefits of joining a CCA to hopefully persuade you to join a CCA. But of course, if I'm not enough, I do have 5 leaders from the different CCA clusters around SP on standby to persuade you to join their cluster. All in all, we just hope that you can see the tremendous potential for growth, fun and engagement throughout your 3 years in SP. So firstly, I'll just give a little intro to what CCA life is at SP, and let's start off with a definition of what CCA is. So CCAs are co-curricular activities, which were previously known as extracurricular activities, and based on a simple Google search, you will find that extracurricular activities are non-academic activities that are also responsible for the holistic development of a child. And of course, at the polytechnic level, it's no different from your primary school and secondary school CCAs, except that it's at a greater scale and greater level. And if you're wondering how, well, firstly, there are over 100 CCAs in SP. And for those that thought about why I said 5 leaders at the start, well, these 100 over CCAs are split into the 5 different categories of CCAs, and these 5 clusters of CCAs are split into your constituent clubs, your sports and adventure clubs, your language and arts clubs, your service learning clubs, and your special interest clubs. And with these CCAs, you're able to join as many and as little CCAs as you want, and if you're feeling really adventurous, you may join all 5 clusters of CCAs. But of course, if you can manage them, CCAs at Poly are real opportunities and real times for growth, and in hindsight, you'll see that all the challenges that you face would actually yield really good growth and lessons for yourself. Be it the constituent clubs where you plan events together, so really long nights, or really long dry runs where you have to stay back in school and stick with your superstar team of organizing committee members, and together you put on an event for a few hundred students. Or it could be the service learning CCAs where through all your volunteering, you'll have many heartfelt moments and moments of learning where the lessons that you have during those periods of service you'll take with you for the rest of your life. Or if you're in the sports CCAs, it could be training with your teammates through many rounds of drills, so running your 5th year suicide for the day. Or it could come down to the last second when it's your responsibility to hit the buzzer beater to win the game. And these seemingly isolated events all culminate together to form that poly experience and the poly CCA life that you may be seeking out. And with these special people that you meet throughout your CCAs, be it the various commitment levels or weekly gym sessions, or really dedicated period during the holidays where you plan for events, you go through these challenges with these people, you grow together as a unit and as a CCA club. Ultimately, the goal of having a CCA is not just to tick off a mark on your portfolio, but rather having a CCA makes up the other half of your education, the one that stretches out of the classroom and the one that sticks with you for the rest of your life. And with that cliche statement, I'll start handing my time over to the leaders, not because I sense that I'm losing you, but because these students contribute so much to our school identity and our school culture, being the leaders of the 5 different clusters, so it would really be a crime if they didn't have the chance to speak to you. And of course, what better way to start than having my very own CCA represent the constituent clubs in this video, the Chemical and Life Sciences Management Committee.
Hi Freshies, I'm Mona and I'm the Vice President of Chemical and Life Sciences Club. As a member of CLS Club, we focus on student welfare events such as interaction race and exam pack distribution. Apart from our own club meetings and events, we also support our cluster. I am with the Cons Club, along with the other respective clubs from each school, Student Sport Club, Current Affairs and Debate Club, and Community Service and Cultural Club. One example of our cluster activity is Ice Camp. It is held annually and it is a bonding camp for all the year ones. It is usually a 3-day 2-night event filled with fun activities such as games, beach day and more. On top of your own school events, you will get to participate in SP-wide events coordinated by our cluster. Hence, you will be able to meet students across all schools in SP and discover new things beyond your immediate surroundings. I hope you have learned something new about our Cons Club cluster and are clearer on your CCA choices. We hope to see you around in school soon. Bye!
Hi, I'm Thaddeus from SP Handball and I'm representing the Sports and Adventure Cluster. Handball is a team sport where teams of 7 will play against each other, and the aim of the game is to shoot the ball into the opponent's goalpost using different tactics. Through my past 2 years in SP Handball, we have helped out in various sports events including Poly 50 and SP Games Day. Poly 50 is a day where students would run 50 rounds around 600-meter routes that passes by various workshops and the main administration building. This event was organized by the Department of Student Development to promote social cohesion and interaction between students and staff. It is also to promote fitness and emphasize the importance of leading a healthy lifestyle. As a team, we volunteered to help out in the hydration stations and to be timekeepers for the lap runs. We also helped out in SP Games Day. SP Games Day is a day where students from different schools in SP will participate in different sports including captain's ball, street soccer, badminton, and basketball, and to win for their school the champion school trophy. The sports team assisted in the planning of games and fixtures and also helped out as umpires for the games. So if you are a sporty and adventurous person, or if you want a more active lifestyle, come and check out the various sports and adventure clubs. Cheers to a happy and active lifestyle. See you around. Bye!
Hi everyone, my name is Abdul Kaha and I'm the president of SP Malay Language Society. As a member of SP Malay Language Society, we participate in activities such as Iftar at SP. It is a platform to educate and increase the awareness of Ramadan and to promote social cohesion between Muslims and non-Muslims. Piala Suara Serumpun is a tertiary DK Barat competition and we grow in our skills of using various teamwork strategies. Spantu Night is an event whereby the Malay literature will be exposed to individuals to ignite their love for the language. And apart from our club trainings, bonding activities and events, we support our cluster. For myself, I am with the Arts Cluster. One example of our cluster activity is Arts Fiesta. Arts Fiesta is an event that is held annually between October and November. This is where there will be a concert and various productions that are put up by our lovely performing art clubs. There are a variety of performances ranging from classical Chinese orchestra to theatre production. So, these are examples of what we students do when we are involved with our CCAs. So, we hope to see you around in SP. Bye!
Hi everyone, I'm Frederick and I'm the head treasurer of SP Photography Club. So as a member of the Photography Club, we focus on activities such as regular club trainings, event coverage, as well as collaborations with other CCAs in SP. So apart from our own club trainings, morning activities and events, we support our cluster. And I am with the Special Interest Cluster. So one example of our cluster activity is a collaboration with SP Videography Club. We organized a photography training session and competition for the student development staff as part of their department event. We played a role in providing training to the staff on the basics and tips for photography. After the training was conducted by both SPP and SPV, the student development staff had to take their own photos according to what they have learned and what is within the competition scope. At the end of the competition, the judges would include representatives from both SP Photography Club and SP Videography Club. Another example of our cluster activity is Arts Fiesta. Held annually in the October and November period, the SP Arts Fiesta is a month-long festival of dance, music and theatre. Throughout the festival month, there will be concerts and productions put up by our performing arts clubs featuring the best of SP's talents, from contemporary jazz to classical Chinese orchestra, band, cultural and contemporary dances. There are also arts and music workshops conducted by local artists for SP students. SP Photography Club is in charge of covering almost every event in Arts Fiesta program. We will set up a schedule of different performances and the club committee members will choose the dates and timings for the performances that they will be covering. It will usually take around 3 to 4 days for the photographers to edit and process the photos, which will be uploaded to a Google Drive folder. Upon completion, the links will be sent to the respective CCAs by the end of the Arts Fiesta event. So this is a brief idea of what we students go through when we are involved with other CCAs. We hope you will consider joining us and having a fruitful and meaningful 3 years in SP. Bye!
Hi Freshies, I'm Charmaine, the Vice President of Events of SPBP Mentoring Club. As a member of BP Mentoring Club, we focus on having weekly mentoring sessions for children aged 7 to 12. Despite COVID-19, we have held events such as Mentoring Appreciation Party and online camps such as Camp Exotica. Apart from our own club's events and activities, we support our cluster as well, and I'm with the Service Learning Cluster. One example of our cluster event is FESET 2020. This was a school-wide event where the 7 different service learning clubs comes up with interactive games such as virtual escape rooms, migrant workers Monopoly version, and there were talks by speakers from our community partners. These were to raise awareness on issues that some of us may feel strongly about, such as mental health, well-being of foreign workers, and children with special needs. These are only some of the things we do when we are involved in our CCA. So what are you waiting for? Come join us in this rewarding journey and wish you guys all the best in your journey in SP. Bye!
Alright, hi, it's me again. Apologies for interrupting what must have been the most exciting part of this video, where you start to feel your gears turning in your head thinking of what CCAs you may join. I'd just like to use the next part of this video to talk about 3 benefits of joining a CCA to hopefully solidify that home run of you picking your dream CCA. So starting off with the first benefit of university applications. Now this may be the most popular. Everyone thinks of CCAs as a tool to help you throughout your portfolio admission to university, but I propose that everyone take a step back and really think about why they may ask you to list down your CCA activities during their requirements for university as a prerequisite. But I propose that the reason they ask you to list down all your CCA achievements is to show what you are beyond the classroom, some of the interests you have, some of the values that you develop, the skills that you may have acquired, and ultimately what you choose to fill your time with. So with that mindset, the first benefit of having a CCA is that you'll be able to develop a lifelong skill that stretches beyond your time in poly, your time in university, that would last you your entire life. So you may be developing a skill, so maybe a sport that you played, a new appreciation for something through a volunteering activity that you may have encountered. Say for example, you picked up a basketball for the first time in poly, and maybe in a few years time we'll see you in the pros. Or maybe you decide to join a traditional leadership CCA where you're able to plan events, manage a group of people. We may see you as the next CEO under the Forbes 30 for under 30 and basically be the CEO of a company in the future. Whatever it is, the benefit of going to CCAs with the mindset of learning that this is something that will stick with us for a lifetime, and it really fulfills our academic life because we have an outlet outside of academics that will be able to last us for our entire life so long as we love it. The next benefit of joining a CCA is actually the friends that you may meet. So as a freshie coming to a really big school, you may be worried that within this entire huge institution, you may not be able to find friends. But I'm pretty sure that we'll all agree that finding friends, and a huge part of finding friends, is actually finding similarities, things that we both enjoy, things that we can share. So what better way than to find someone from a CCA? You've already won half the battle because you have something that you can both share, something you're both passionate about, basically something that links you two together. And you'll find that the initial awkwardness of meeting a friend in this CCA will quickly go over because you start talking about and geek out over your favorite things that made you join the CCA. And as they say, a stranger is just a friend that you haven't spoken to before. And you also find that you'll be right smack in the middle of this support system that is made of by your peers, the alumni, and maybe the seniors. And having these seniors as a backbone helps you through and helps you learn the ropes of poly. They may give you study tips or maybe help you out through the various parts of poly life that you may not really learn as a freshie during your first few weeks. And just having this support system, your peers where you walk through this journey together, your seniors who share with you insights, advice through the triumphs that they've had, and then you just find that you really enjoy poly life that much more because you have this support system and this group of friends behind you. And of course, if you were to ever represent SP outside of school, so be it in competitions, you'll find that you'll meet international people, the international community, or even the national community of people that have the same interests as you, so you can expand this network of people, this network of support, which may prove beneficial for you beyond poly life, beyond university life, when you're working one day. And lastly, the third reason why choosing a CCA will be beneficial is because this is one of the only periods of your life that you have a dedicated support system that tries to foster you to learn new skills. If you think about it, when you're an adult, you don't have dedicated after school time to assist you in your experimentation of learning new skills. You wouldn't have a dedicated room for like-minded people to meet up and try something out. And if you think about it, you try and learn tchoukball for the first time. It's a lot easier having a coach, having seniors, having peers to learn from, rather than just buying a net, going down to your void deck with a YouTube video in hand. This CCA time in poly, it's really your chance to put yourself out there and experiment with things that you ever thought of trying, or things that you never even thought of trying but have some interest towards. And through putting yourself out there more, serendipitous events will just happen for you where there's a greater likelihood of good things happening to you because you're putting yourself out there more, you're exposing yourself to greater things, newer things, putting yourself outside the bubble that you're currently in, giving yourself a greater surface area for exposure, for good things to happen to you. And I think that through all of this, your poly life will be more fulfilling, good things will happen to you just by nature of putting yourself out there, and you'll see these benefits in the long run. Alright, and those were some of the thoughts of CCAs, co-curricular activities from seniors to juniors. I hope that this video was enough to persuade you to pick up a CCA, And if not, just a very subtle plug for me, since I already have your attention, I might as well do it. You can check out some of the videos I make over in my own YouTube channel, where some of them actually focus about CCA life, showing you how is it actively being a member of the CCA. Anyway, after that really shameless plug, I hope that you enjoy the rest of the CCA Carnival. I hope that you explore all the activities that you're interested in, even if a slight peak of interest. Try and explore it, try and speak to the people that are in charge of the CCA, ask all the questions that you need to ask, make sure that you have any doubts that you have, they're addressed, and just really enjoy your time. The future awaits, and it's the start of something new. Goodbye.